Hello, Squadron Cetas. A bit of a fun video today. With the Cologne Major coming up, I wanted to look at all of your guys' hot takes and judge them. Judge you. Actually, there are two ways you will gain plus Garmour respect points for these. One is how hot the take is, and two is if I just think that there is any chance in the universe that it can maybe happen. I think there is a good balance between how insane it is and how likely it is, and if you hit just the right spot, hey, plus respect points from me, brother. But to start, I will give you guys my takes for what I think are gonna happen. Take number one, there will be an NA team in the playoffs. It's a pretty good take, isn't it? So what this means is either NRG, M80, or Liquid has to make the playoffs. The other take that I really like is MIBR makes stage 3 and Gamer Legion. I think Gamer Legion is a very good team. But if you really were gonna stamp my balls to the wall, I'd probably say Foot is in the semifinals of the playoffs, but that is also heavily dependent on what form Lawnex comes into this tournament with, because he is having some health issues, and it looks like it is taking a slight toll on him. But if we get like peak Lawnex that we had been seeing before these health issues, I am fully rolling with Foot to the semis. I love Foot. I think they are one of the best teams in the entire world when they are playing. And we have a very weird scene right now as well, because I guess outside of Vitality and Na'Vi, I guess maybe you can throw Falcons in there, but you never know what team Falcons is gonna lose to. It feels like the scene is kind of wide open right now, and I think Foot can, you know, they can slide up into the semis maybe if they're locked. But enough of my takes. What are you guys saying? I posted a message in Discord that you guys could respond to, and I also had a post on Twitter. So if you guys aren't in the Discord, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter. Okay, let's get into the takes.
Hello guys, it's me, Garmour. The first time you've ever seen me in person before. If you guys would like to support me or the stuff that I do here, check out the new long-term sponsor of the Garmour YouTube channel, SkinSwap. SkinSwap is the #1 place to trade your Rust or Counter-Strike skins for new ones where you can instantly upgrade your inventory. And if you use my code Garmour, you can get up to $50 on a free skin and a 3% lifetime selling bonus. And now you can easily buy skins off of the Chinese marketplace for cheaper prices than you ever could on the Western marketplaces. I truly think this is the best feature on any skin trading website, but if you are looking to sell, you can sell your skins for crypto, PayPal, Venmo, and a bunch of other withdrawal methods. Along with this, SkinSwap has a vault system now, which makes it the most rewarding skin trading website. And of course, don't forget the giveaways. And I think that's it. Thank you to them. Thank you to you guys. And back to the video.
The first take that I will be talking about today is from Bloom, and he says Thunder Down Under will make a deep run. Nothing crazy like playoffs, but they will overachieve in some manner. Now, considering Thunder Down Under coming into this tournament, and considering the other teams of this tournament, them overachieving is basically them winning a game. No. Them overachieving, I guess, is making stage 2, which I could potentially see this happening. This was also a pretty big take on the Twitter replies as well. A lot of people love Thunder Down Under. And I mean, to be fair, I do get it. It is literally just the FlyQuest core of Dexter, Liaz, Alistair, and then 2 other riflers in ASAP and TJP. And I think it is kind of a cool redemption arc story if the FlyQuest core does outperform the new FlyQuest. And so I will be personally rooting for them. And it's not like Dexter, Liaz, and Alistair, they weren't horrible players. They're obviously very good in Australia. It just couldn't really translate to tier 1. But I think we do also got to remember a lot of the teams that are in stage 1 here are like tier 2, tier 1.5 teams, and I feel like they should be able to decently compete in here. Now, realistically, I don't think they are going to make it out of stage 1, but you know, if they do start out hot, you know, this is best of ones. We got to remember. And I mean, FlyQuest was kind of known for starting 2-0 and then choking. So I mean, if Thunder Down Under does something similar to that and goes 2-0 up, I could maybe see them winning a BO3 eventually, going through, you know, 3-1, 3-2. So it's a solid hot take. I respect it. The next take will be from Twitter. It's from Hawkus CS. You guys probably know who he is. And his take was, NA teams won't win a single match versus other regions. Kill yourself. You motherfucker! Do you know how experienced Nitro is? You don't think he can win against Lin Vision? Alish? Guys, I get Liquid as dog shit, but come on. We don't think Liquid can squeak out a win against Sharks? Don't even get me started about M80. Sure, they lost to Liquid, but you guys heard of Lake? I mean, what are we... Come on, man. I'm sorry, guys. That one just hit a little too close to home. move on to the next. Here is the next Discord take from Small Service. He says, Big go 3-0 into 0-3, and Vitality go undefeated until semis where they randomly get bounced by an America's team. Let's start with Big, I guess, for this one. In my heart, I am a big Glazer, and I love the first part of this take, that they can possibly go 3-0 straight into stage 2, where they then get bounced 0-3. I actually do think that is kind of realistic, and I really don't have a lot to add to that. I feel like Big has been very, very good in tier 2, and you would think they will be good enough to make it out of stage 1 at the very least. But then as soon as they get into playing a couple of the better teams in the world, they would, as you would expect, kind of struggle. So I think that's honestly a very, very good take. It's gonna hurt my soul if they do go 0-3 in the next stage. And I mean, a big run to the playoffs would be absolutely cinema, but I can absolutely see this happening. And the second part of this take is Vitality goes undefeated until semis where they get bounced by an America's team. So that's pretty much Furia, 9Z, Legacy, or Pain, you would think. Maybe you can slide MIBR into there. I think realistically, this is mostly talking about Furia or 9Z. If 9Z can go on a miracle run to the playoffs where they then find themselves in the, I mean, they would be in the finals if they beat Vitality in the semis. That would be an unreal run from 9Z. Probably the most likely team for this is the first one I listed in Furia, but I don't know, man. Furia has been freaking me out recently. We haven't really seen the peak Furia that we saw towards the end of last year, as so far in 2026 at the time of me recording this, they have made one S tier final, and that's it all year. But it was at the most important event of the year, I would say, at Krakow, and they did take a map off Vitality in the finals, which you wouldn't think taking one map off a team would be that impressive, but it is. They're actually the only team, listen, it could change, okay, it could change, but at the time of me recording this, they are the only team all year who has taken a map off of Vitality in a grand final. So I mean, maybe if there was a team to do it, it could be Furia, but it's still so like hard for me to imagine, especially with the form we've gotten from Furia recently. But then again, the magical part about majors is some teams just know how to turn it on when these big events are happening. And with a veteran IGL like Fallen, maybe he does rally the boys. He says, boys, I'm retiring. We got 2 majors left in my entire career. Let's lock the fuck in. And maybe Furia goes on that generational run. So Furia upsetting Vitality in the semis, I really respect that take. I can't believe in it just because of how good Vitality is doing, but in my heart, I would totally be fine with this happening. The next take on Twitter is from Exerpass, and he said ZywOo will break the highest major rating ever. I think this is like, I think it's a good take because it's very, very possible. I wouldn't say it's a super hot take, but it is a just in general good take. The current rating record at a major was set by Donk in Shanghai with a 1.49, and if there was any player on any team that could break this, it would without a doubt be ZywOo. He has a higher rating than this when they won Krakow this year with a 1.59. And at the last major Budapest where they won, he posted a 1.38. So I mean, yeah, if there was a guy to break the record, it would without a doubt be ZywOo. The next Discord take is from Golem, and he says G2 doesn't make the playoffs, forcing them into minus Sunpius and minus Hunter. We'll start with the G2 part of this. I actually totally agree, kind of. I don't think in any universe G2 gives up on Hunter IGL this early on. You have to give IGLs a longer timetable than that, and realistically, other than Kixin, who would they bring in? At that point, you might as well just keep Hunter, keep him and Saw working together, and just let him develop as a leader. He's one of the most experienced players in all of Counter-Strike, so I don't like the minus Hunter part of this. But the part that I do like is I think G2 will end up missing out in the playoffs, and I do think minus Sunpius will happen. I've been saying it for so fucking long. Minus Sunpius plus Klim. We're in business, baby, but we'll have to see what happens. This is what I think will happen. This is what I hope will happen, but who knows? Maybe after the major, if MIBR goes on a run, they just buy him out from the team permanently. We'll kind of have to wait and see, but yeah, it's a fine take. The Hunter part I don't like, but yeah, I think G2 will miss the playoffs and make a change after the major. The next take on Twitter is by @205 Ice Monkey, and he thinks that Spirit will eliminate Vitality in the quarters. A very, very easy recipe for a hot take this major is just saying Vitality isn't gonna win because they're so good. It's so likely that they are just gonna make a run to the finals and win the whole thing. So I mean, this in itself, while it isn't crazy, it's still a very good hot take because Vitality getting knocked out before the finals seems very, very unlikely. But if there was a team to do it, maybe Spirit could. And we look at all like the top-ish teams right now, Na'Vi, Spirit, Falcons, I guess you can throw Furia in there. Those are the teams that are maybe the closest to being able to beat Vitality. And here's the deal with Spirit. I really like any hot take that says Spirit is gonna win, just because I think Donk individually is good enough to where he can beat any team in the world almost by himself. But there is one problem with this. Vitality doesn't really allow Donk to fry them. It's very hard for Donk to have a life game against Vitality because they counter him so well. Like, if we look at the IEM Rio final between Vitality and Spirit, when Mirage went into overtime, Donk had a 1.0 rating. On map 2 Nuke, where it was 13-10, Donk had a 0.72 rating. The only positive map he had in the entire series was the last one where they got blown out 13-5, where he posted a 1.39. But it just kind of seems like Vitality is very good at putting a leash on Donk and not letting him just run around doing whatever he wants to do. So it is a little tough for me to see Spirit being the one to eliminate Vitality, I guess. But then again, like I said, I do think Donk is generational enough to maybe being able to overcome this in a big moment. We've seen that he is a big game player. And I mean, like, with Tanir kind of finally coming into his own on this team, if Shiro plays well, Shiro playing well in the playoffs, we'll see. But if, like, the other pieces come together with Donk and Vitality is maybe having an off day, I guess I could theoretically see it happening. And I just personally like Spirit, so it's a fine take. But I am a little worried that Vitality will just kind of cook Donk like they normally do. The next Discord take is by Plate is Messi, and he has 3. He says Paravision goes 0-3, Na'Vi wins the major, and Liquid disbands. I mean, I like all 3 of these takes, to be honest with you, because Paravision does seem to be a very up and down type of team, and there's like 2 parts to that. First of all, that's how a lot of Jame teams typically are. They're very inconsistent, and along with that, the team has a lot of very young players who are going to make mistakes. And so let's say everyone just shits their pants, you know, it's a James way trying to play as well as they can, but then Noda, Zelo, Belchanok kind of don't really know what the fuck is going on. They're just lost in the sauce. I feel like you realistically could see that happening, and if it does, it's going to be very hard for the team to overcome, especially with them starting in stage 3. They're just going to be playing straight heaters every single game, and every single game is also going to be a best of 3. We can't forget, stage 3 is all best of 3s. And so if they're not playing well and they're playing best of 3s in all of these series and the teams they're playing are just playing better, or they're just straight up better teams, I totally could see Paravision going 0-3. I think then we would see Noda get sent to the Shadow Realm and Dastan would replace him with anyone. Na'Vi wins the major. As the second best team in the world, it's they definitely are gonna have the second highest odds to win, I would think, but it's like, then again, if they do meet Vitality in the finals, it's probably chopped. I think the number 1 way for Na'Vi to win the major is for them to meet Vitality in the quarters or semis, because I just feel like Vitality's map pool is too strong for Na'Vi to beat in a BO5. So I think they would have to take them out in a BO3 if they were to take them out at any point. And the last one, Liquid disbands. Yeah. I mean, there's no way they don't, right? If that team is still together after this major, I don't know, man, because they're not going to make the next one, you know? They're not going to get any better, I don't think. And so if they keep this current roster, like, they're just, I don't know, bro. There's going to be hovering in, what, tier 2? Like, that Liquid is done for. The next take on Twitter is by Redscon. He says Aurora bombs out again and goes international / disbands the roster as we know it. So the thing with Aurora is I do think they have been pretty solid this year. I would not be surprised to see them make the playoffs, but they're also one of those teams where I don't think any of us would be surprised if they did bomb out in stage 3 going like 1-3. But I do think unless Aurora quite literally makes the finals here, from all of the rumors that we have been hearing, it does sound like this roster is probably coming to an end after Cologne and that they will most likely go international. It's just very hard to be a national team and be one of the best teams in the world now. You know, even Astralis have gone more international and they've been, you know, Danish forever. So I do think it is probably about time. If the rest of the players in the team are fine with it and they're comfortable speaking English, I feel like you're just kind of handicapping yourself not doing it. I don't know if I see Aurora bombing out. I don't think they're going to be 1-3 or 0-3. I think the worst is probably 2-3 that they would go. But I do think, like I said, no matter what, unless they do go on a diabolical run, this roster is pretty much cooked. And it sounds like the 2 that will be getting replaced is Major and Woxic. So it's going to be, you know, probably the 2 most important positions on the team. team. So we'll have to see who they go out and get. Maybe it's Kixin, maybe it's someone else. What opera do they bring in? I think Molodoy is probably not going to be the guy that is joining the team. Maybe at the end of 2026, possibly. But I don't think with Fallen retiring at the end of the year, there's no way he would do that to the boys. Because then Fury would just go out with a whimper, it feels like. So Molodoy's probably sticking with the boys until the end of the year at the very least. So we'll have to see what happens. The next Discord take is by Squid Sea Ghost, and he says that Furia will miss the playoffs and Yuri will be benched. Personally, I think that even with Furia's kind of not so great form recently, they will still make the playoffs. But it isn't a bad take at all to say that they could miss and that Yuri will be benched. He has taken a step back this year when compared to his form in 2025, but it always does kind of pain me when teams aren't going well and I just see the anchor support player get scapegoated. And if it was me, you know, Yuri wouldn't be the first player that I would replace. I also, like I said earlier with the Molodoy stuff, with this being Fallen's last year before he's retiring, I feel like this team's in kind of a weird place to make roster moves. But here is the one situation where I totally could see Yuri get replaced. I've talked about him before. If by some chance Sharks, who are starting in stage 1, goes on a really impressive run here, and their player Koala also plays very well, I really wouldn't be surprised if there's like a Yuri Koala swap, or if Furia just buys out Koala from Sharks, because he is one of the best young anchor support players in all of Brazil right now, and he has posted very good numbers in tier 2. And when you do start playing well in tier 2, especially as an anchor who don't typically put up the most insane numbers, I think at some point you do deserve to get moved up into tier 1. So if Furia do bomb out and it's like they go 1-3 and Sharks do go on a very good run, absolutely I could see Yuri getting replaced by Koala. The next take on Twitter is from GameCube, and he says the major will be just as random as the Paris major due to the rise in overall skill of teams. I'm gonna be honest, I love this take. It is a very good take in my opinion, and I really do think we could see a major playoffs kind of similar to Paris, just because a lot of the top teams do seem very volatile, and the only two real guarantees I would say is Vitality and Na'Vi. And other than that, who's to say that we won't see a couple stage 2, stage 1 teams even to slide into the playoffs? You know, a couple of the other better teams like Falcons, Furia, Mouse, Mongols, Aurora, Paravision, any other team in stage 1, I could see literally any of them slipping up and not making the playoffs. So it does seem like a very uncertain time where we could see maybe a record low amount of stage 3 teams making it in the playoffs. Normally it's like 5 to 6 make it. Maybe we only see 3, 4. I guess Spirit from stage 2 kind of feels like a lock to make it as well. But like, other than that, it could be a very whack-ass playoffs with a bunch of tier 1.5, tier 2 teams that rise to the occasion and make it. Like M80, like NRG, not Liquid, like Big Clan, who's to say, fucking 9Z. For me, watching Cologne is going to be very exciting, just because of all of the unknowns until the final, until the winner. Because like, while it does feel like it's just Vitality's gonna win, everything that we're gonna see up until that point should be exciting, because we don't really know at all what is gonna happen. And I do feel like typically you have a better idea because a lot of the top teams feel a lot more stable, and while some of them might not make it, most of them normally do. We might have a Paris Major 2.0. This is a great take. All right, let's just go with some quick fire takes now. I have returned from the Aether. The portals have closed. The geometric entities have whispered, and the 12th dimensional truth has been revealed to me. M80 is winning the Cologne Major. God bless you. Falcons will lose in the grand final with Nico at a 0.7 rating. I mean, if they make it there, they got Kerrigan on the team, they got Nico on the team. If these fellas are making a grand final, they're probably losing. It's pretty valid. Legacy, led by Art, will make the playoffs. Visiting family out of state, so this is all I have to record with on my laptop. I felt like I needed to update the Legacy part of this video due to their results at the CAC tournament. These guys, they're CAC farmers. What can I say? Lado is the best player in the world when playing at this specific event. After this result, this hot take has aged tremendously well. Okay, it's a very good hot take, especially with how scuffed the top tier teams are at this point. Legacy could without a doubt make the playoffs of this major, but I'm not going down that easy. I still not am a full Legacy believer. I believe with Art's calling and just the style of the team that they are very inconsistent, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if they bombed out of stage 2. I'm just gonna be honest. They're probably gonna be a very popular 3-0 pick now at this point. Can I also say something else that might make you a little angry? We might be overrating the Legacy CAC run. Maybe this is my own hot take video at this point. Let's look at their results here. They beat NRG and Tai Lu, lose to Falcons 0-2. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I would say their most most impressive victory, this might be a horrible take. Their most impressive victory this entire event was a 2-1 over Mongols. And I'm not even that high on Mongols at this point anymore. I think they're a good team. They're not a great team. They then beat MIBR and beat Falcons in the final. Beating Falcons in an event final, equivalent to taking candy from a baby, guys. Falcons' worst team on earth in a final. Did you guys see that Nico whiff? Bro, are you kidding me? Did you guys see Nico stats in finals with Falcons? Listen, I think Legacy's a good team, okay? Can they make playoffs here? Absolutely, without a doubt. It's a good hot take. It's a very good hot take. But I don't know if I'm a Legacy believer yet. I need to see more. I believe that they're going to be a very inconsistent team. But with inconsistency, you can also be very good. So maybe they're very good and win the whole event. I wouldn't go that far. Okay, that's it. Goodbye, guys. Mouse will make the semis with Brolin, and Brolin will join G2 or FaZe after the major. You know what, you guys want to know what's fucking crazy? I don't think Mouse is going to make the semis. I don't really believe in them at all going into this tournament, unfortunately. Maybe I'm overlooking them, but I personally have not thought about Brolin at all since he's been benched. I thought more about where Jim Fat's gonna go when compared to Brolin. He got benched on Mouse and he like completely faded from my memory, from my entire brain. It's actually a really interesting conversation to see where Brolin will go after Cologne. If he goes anywhere, he might just sit for another season. I don't know. And also, what roles will he have on the new team that he joins? Will he just go back to being a traditional rifler? I don't know. I mean, there is a severe lack of IGLs that are available, so maybe they will want him to call still. It's actually a really interesting conversation to have. I don't love his fit on G2. I don't think G2 needs another good rifler on the team. They already have a team of good players. I think they need kind of a superstar player to push them over the edge, so I don't love Brolin's fit on G2. FaZe probably makes a little bit more sense, or maybe he goes back to tier 2 and tries to help the local Swedish scene out. I feel like he'd be a great IGL there, and I really liked what I saw from Alliance prior to this major, but I think Alliance is kind of a dead team now as well, because I don't think they're gonna have Male 09. I think he got sent back to Metasport, which is unfortunate. But Brolin on a team like Alliance, I think could be really fucking cool, because I fully believe that they could make the Singapore major. They were very good prior to Cologne, so that could be another good option. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know how highly teams are gonna value Brolin and how many offers he's gonna get. Maybe Bertram Clyde Gaming wants him as their caller. I don't think that would work, but you never really know. What do you guys think? Because I truly haven't really considered where Brolin might go when all this is done. The last take I'll talk about, surely an unbiased one, very similar to my takes about NA teams, Elige Worshipper. I'm not sure if Liquid can win, but I do think Elige has MVP locked down. All right, okay. That's enough takes for one day. Let me know down below what some of your guys' takes are for this major, whether it comes out slightly before it starts or right after it starts, because like I said before, I feel like there's a lot of takes that are very valid. Everything before the final where Vitality plays and wins is going to be very interesting. And dear God, do I ever hope this video ages like milk, man. I do like watching good CS, and I don't mind watching Vitality play. It is like a treat for my eyes to watch them play Counter-Strike, but I also wouldn't complain if, you know, another team upset them. So yeah, that's it for me today, guys. Leave a like if you liked, subscribe link if you want to subscribe, hit the bell if you want notifications, and I will see you guys next time.